Hey, Joseph Hogue here with another video on the Let's Talk Money YouTube channel. I want to welcome all our subscribers and thank you for taking a part of your day to be here. Today's video is the 10th in our Money Expert interview series, and one I'm really excited to bring you. I meet a lot of financial bloggers at an annual conference I attend, but few have the experience and expertise as our guest today. So today's interview is with Barbara Friedberg, a former investment portfolio manager and a CFO at a real estate holding company. Barb has written several books on investing, as well as an encyclopedia of modern money management published by Greenwood. So when I say she's an encyclopedia of great information, that's not just a cliche. She's actually written an encyclopedia on money management. Barb runs two websites, Barbara Friedberg personalfinance.com and robo-advisor.pros.com. She's also got some great investing advice on her site, but emphasizes that wealth begins with saving. And I love that. You hear too much that wealth or getting rich is about making those huge stock market returns, and people chase those risky stocks that end up making bad decisions and lose their money. When in fact, wealth is just as much about saving, and she's got some great ways to help you save as well as excellent investing advice. So Barbara, thank you for joining us today, offering to share some of your insight with us on investing.
It is a pleasure to be there, and thank you for that generous introduction.
Generous but accurate, I think. I've followed your website since I met you at FinCon a couple of years ago. So one thing you talk about on your blogs, and something that's driving a huge shift I've seen in investing, is those robo-advisors. Now, as a former equity analyst and a Wall Street guy, I've got to admit the idea of Terminator advisors just scares the bejesus out of me. So tell us a little bit about what that idea is and why we shouldn't be scared about robo-advisors.
Well, no, you shouldn't be scared. And let me tell you why. They're not really robots, and they're not like the zombie apocalypse coming through to take over all of your money. But really what they are really, really smart computer programs that manage your money really efficiently according to the parameters that you put in. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're a moderately conservative investor. You're in your 50s or so, and you want a 60-40 stock versus bond allocation, medium risk. Then that robo-advisor is going to pick several ETFs of low-fee index funds, low-fee funds, in a really diverse mix, put that portfolio together for you, manage it. When it gets out of whack in terms of the percentages, it'll just revert it back to the original 60-40 mix that you requested.
Okay.
And so you're really getting your best return for the least amount of risk.
Excellent. And the way I understand it, is this right? You can even, based on your age, some of the questions you answer to maybe a risk tolerance questionnaire, and some of the other questions you answer, it will even help you pick that stock bond mix according to your goals and these other questions.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, you said that so articulately. Yeah, you come in, you answer some questions so that the profile gets to know you.
Okay.
And then designs the portfolio based on your goals, your risk level, and you're not locked in though. And that's the thing that's really important for you to understand, which is you can change it. You go, oh my gosh, I think I can take a little more risk. My salary has gone up. I've got a little more money now. I'd like to be a little more aggressive and shoot for a bigger return. So you go up to 65-35%. And that's up to you. You can change that at any time.
Okay. So what are the advantages then of some of these robo-advisors over just going with a traditional advisor or really that DIY approach with an online investing account?
The advantages are, when you compare a robo-advisor to a traditional financial advisor, are fees. Your basic robo-advisors, and we're talking about them as if they're a uniform group, they're actually really, really diverse. And there's a variety of different types of robo-advisors within the broad class. But the advantage to going with a robo-advisor over a traditional financial advisor in general are fees. You can actually set up your investment portfolio with Wise Banyan or Schwab Intelligent Advisors or M1 Finance. And there are zero management fees. Zero.
Wow.
Now, you got in with a financial advisor, you're going to pay some fees to have your money managed. And in many cases, if you don't have a couple of $100,000 under your belt, you can't even get a financial advisor to work with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know a lot of friends that I've talked to that have that. You know, they're not poor. They do well. They just haven't saved as much, and it's really hard to get the attention of a lot of financial advisors that are working on that. That fee-based income. And in fairness, that's their job. They have to really go where the money is. Now I know it sounds like there's a lot of robo-advisor options, even in some of these traditional advisor shops. I know Schwab, as well as pure robo-advisors. Is there kind of a common theme with some of them? What's the average fee that they charge? What are some of the things that people should be looking for?
Well, there's actually a lot of differentiation. And I mentioned a couple of free robo-advisors. Then you go up, I would say your Betterment or Wealthfront will charge 0.25% of the money you have invested with them. You compare that with a financial advisor that typically will charge about 1% or more to manage your money. So there's a real cost advantage there. But then when you get into more features, for example, you can get quite a few robo-advisors today also offer a plan that will give you access to a certified financial planner. And those robo-advisors, their fees are going to start more in the 0.5 or 0.5% of your money.
Yeah, I know. Wealthsimple does offer that financial advisor, that hybrid model.
Yes,
when people look at these, they look at, even 1%. That's nothing, for a traditional financial advisor, but it's not nothing, and it does add up. If you're doing a difference of 0.5%, would be $5 for every 1,000, so $50 for every 10,000 you have invested. Every year you're paying that. You're not making money in future years off that, and it does add up to tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars on that compound interest. Now, so are there any disadvantages to this kind of investing? It sounds like a pretty easy way to invest.
Well, one thing, there are disadvantages, but one thing I did want to mention as well, because of the popularity of the robo-advisors, you are getting many financial advisors who are saying, hey, I'm going to put these robo-advisors in my back office to manage the investments, so I have more time to serve my clients, and I can also lower my fees. So I did want to get that in as well.
Okay.
But yeah, there are disadvantages. For example, with the exception of M1 Finance, who has really thousands of exchange-traded funds, stocks, bond funds you can put in your account. Most other robo-advisors limit your investment choices. So they'll have a stock list from probably 10 to 20 funds, and that's it. So if you want to go in a different direction, you're locked into those funds. So for more sophisticated investors, they might not like that.
Okay.
Another disadvantage is you do have to move your money to most robo-advisors. Not Future Advisor, not SigFig. They will manage your money if it remains in like a Fidelity account or a couple of other popular brokerages. But most others, you have to move your money. If you go with Wealthfront, Betterment, Ellevest, you need to move your money to that platform. And so if you already have some significant assets, you may incur some capital gains taxes when you move your funds over. So that's another disadvantage. So
would it be smart then to maybe use these as a retirement account part? So if you move money from one retirement account into these, you as long as you do it in a, the tax advantaged way and don't take delivery, then you wouldn't have to pay these capital gains taxes.
That's a great idea. So if you have a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, it's a perfect vehicle to move it over because you won't suffer those tax consequences.
And it's, saying that, I didn't even think about it, but a lot of these, I know a lot of these robo-advisors will tax manage your investments every year to get you the biggest tax write-off. So maybe not quite the smartest choice, because obviously you're not going to be able to take advantage of these tax sales when it's a retirement account. So, but just some different things to think about, I guess. There might be that capital gains tax that you have to pay on old investments when you move them over. You could, totally avoid that just by putting new money into a robo-advisor account and starting a new investment account through that, while still holding, some of your other investments in this old traditional DIY account or an advisor. One thing I've noticed is that robo-advisors seem to be kind of evolving a little. While they started off just offering the basic investment service, it looks like some are now offering, these other services. So can you talk about, and you've mentioned a few of them, can you talk about some of these other services and how investors can really choose which they need?
Yes, and you're right. They are coming, many robo-advisors are coming to give you a lot more education, planning, information, assistance with your retirement, buying a house, with choosing a 401k. Ellevest not only has a plan where they give you options for certified financial advisors, but they also have career accounts on staff. Wow. So that's even a greater twist. So yes, the field is totally evolving. Actually, to put a little plug in for my Robo-Advisor Pros site, I have a really nice comparison chart that you can download there, and you'll get a view of maybe 15 robo-advisors and how they compare and contrast across a variety of different criteria.
Excellent. So yeah, we'll leave a link to that in the description. Well, hey, those are some great ideas, some great information. And I want to thank our guest, Barbara Friedberg, for sharing her insights into robo-advisors and how they're really changing the way we think about investing. Be sure to check out her blogs for some great personal finance advice and investing advice. That's Barbara Friedberg, personalfinance.com, and robo-advisorspro.com, or Robo-Advisor Pros, right?
Right.
And so I'll be sure to leave links to those in the description to the video below. Check those out. Check out some of the really great reviews she has for different robo-advisors. I also want to thank you for tuning in to this 10th of our interview series. I've got a lot of great guests lined up. Some of the top names in beating debt, making more money, and making your money work for you. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. It's free, and you'll never miss a single video. If you've got a question for any of our guests or for myself, subscribe to the channel and go to purefinance101.com/ask, and I'll make sure to answer it in a future video.